The N64 is a console that I love. Coming off of the Sega Genesis, I was blown away by what the N64 was capable of. These 3D environments and these 3D worlds that I had never experienced before. When I got my N64, I actually got Turok the Dinosaur Hunter with that because I was a big fan of dinosaurs as a kid. And Turok the Dinosaur Hunter was just an amazing game, you know, hunting dinosaurs and, you know, weird people who were trying to kill you in this open 3D world. It was just so amazing. And I loved the N64, and it was such a good system, whether you're talking about the classic games like Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, or you're talking about the more obscure games like Winback or Hybrid Heaven, Mischief Makers, Blast Corps. There were so many cool games on the N64, and there was really something for everyone, especially wrestling fans. Well, I guess not really everyone. If you were an RPG fan, you were stuck with Quest 64 featuring Brian. What a terrible game. But the N64 was an awesome console, but there was one problem with it, and it's one problem that a lot of people don't talk about, and that's just the design of the controller. I know, okay, the analog stick was great. This was a much needed addition in gaming, but what is this? What is this? It looks terrible. And this three-pronged design made it so confusing for people. Let me tell you guys something. This is how I play N64 games. I grip it here and I use my thumb here. I don't have big hands, but it seems like every person that plays N64 games, every person that I've ever played an N64 game, plays it like this. So what am I doing wrong? Am I just an idiot? Like, why is this normal to me, but this is normal to the rest of the world? Why am I alone in this? It was too confusing. A great controller, but just too confusing, too clunky. So there's a Kickstarter campaign coming up. I know, Kickstarter, RGT, you don't like Kickstarter. My philosophy on Kickstarter is when it's a small company, I'm okay with it. And this is a small company called Retro Fighters. Now you might be saying to yourself, RGT85, I'm subscribed to your channel, I watch your videos, I know you've talked about Retro Fighters before, and you are correct. I actually reviewed the Retro Fighters controller for the NES, and I really like this controller. I'll have the link to the video up in the video card section above, but I like this controller. It had a good build, good D-pad, I like the buttons, it had a turbo, and it had analog sticks. Well, why does an NES controller have analog sticks? Why not? But it was a good controller, honestly. It was nice, and you could use it both on your NES or on your PC. Well, Retro Fighters is back. And this time, they're doing something with the N64, which blows my mind because when you think about it, nobody's ever really done anything about the N64 controller. They make like new ones and clone ones, but no one's ever made like a new design N64 controller. And if you're playing an N64 in 2017, more than likely you're playing with a soggy stick because these sticks just go to crap after a while. So Retro Fighters is bringing the next gen N64 controller to Kickstarter at the same time as this video will be released because I have an inside connection and they gave me sort of an exclusive on this. So I wanted to talk about this, share this with you guys, give you guys the details, and let you guys know why I'm pretty excited for the next gen N64 controller from Retro Fighters. So like I said, this is looking to sort of reinvent how we play N64 games in 2017, which I think is great because N64 controllers it's such a pain in the ass buying used ones. So this is the next gen N64 controller from Retro Fighters. Now, first and foremost, let's talk about the funding. They're seeking $13,000, which honestly is pretty modest in my opinion. That's not a whole lot of money for what they're bringing to the table. Now, when you look at the controller itself, you will notice something very important. It looks like a normal controller. No three-pronged design. No more questions about where to put your hands because it's a normal controller. So I really like that. I really like the design of the controller. It's simple, it's basic, but there's little things on it. There's little features that they added to it that really make it good in my opinion. So they increased the size of the C buttons, which is good because a lot of N64 games use those C buttons. And if you have like a decent sized thumb, you were probably pretty sloppy on those C buttons, hitting all of them all the time. So with the increased size, it'll be easier to have more precision controls. They have also put a D-pad on here with a 0 dead space on it. So that's really cool too. The N64 D-pad was okay, but it sort of hurt your thumb after a while. I'm hoping that they use a D-pad like they used on this. The D-pad is very soft, it really contours to your thumb, and it just feels very nice and smooth. Now, another important thing is the analog sticks. Now, the analog stick on this, I really like it. It's good, it works well. I hope they use something similar on the N64 controller. Another nice addition is the removal of the Z button and placing it behind the L and R triggers, because there's not that middle prong that had the Z button on there. So there's two Z buttons on there, so you can choose if you want to use your left or right hand. There may be a bit of an adjustment period with that, but I think that's a welcome addition to the controller. Once again, it pretty much makes the controller more modern. It also uses all of your memory packs and your rumble pack, so that's great too, because I love the rumble pack. I love Star Fox 64 with the rumble pack. That's very important to me. That is the proper way to play Star Fox 64. Now, I would say the most impressive thing about this campaign is the actual price of the controller. You can get the controller through this Kickstarter campaign for $20. $20! Like, if you're playing N64 games in 2017 on original hardware, you'd be silly to at least not look at this product, to be interested in this product, because $20 for a modern N64 controller is a really good deal in my opinion. Now, unlike the NES controller, this is only for N64. This does not have a USB out, and that's to keep production costs down. They may go back and revisit the USB device or USB slot on the controller if this controller does well, which is very understanding. I primarily play N64 on an actual N64, so that's not a big deal to me. But there are other reward tiers. You can get a poster, you can get your name in the instruction booklet, limited edition t-shirts, all sorts of stuff. I'll have a little, I'll show it on the screen there. Make sure you check out the Kickstarter campaign. But honestly, I'm pretty excited for this Kickstarter campaign. As a fan of the N64, it's time that we as N64 fans have gotten a new controller. Something modern, something that doesn't suck, something that doesn't have three prongs and confuses the hell out of you. So this is a very exciting Kickstarter in my opinion. I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on one of these. I will get my hands on one of these one way or another to review for you guys, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention, and I think it'll be really cool. So let me know, are you still playing the N64? What do you think about this controller? Let me know in the comment section down below. I will have a link to both the Kickstarter campaign and my review of the Retro Fighters NES controller, so you can sort of see what sort of quality to expect from this controller. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, and I will catch you guys next time. Later.
RGT, NA5, RGT, NA5. RGT, NA5.